But anyhow, I got the KERUUK in my hands, and I want to share this just so you guys could see it in record. All right, guys. So this KERUUK is by Black Cloud Knives, old school Laci Szabo design logo. So not the skull. So we're looking at something that's older, around I say 90s created maybe. Nate told me that he acquired this from Arizona Custom Knives. So that's probably sounds about right, since these do go through that doors with Julie's company. I'm not sure if even Julie's still running the show, but good folks, Arizona Custom Knives. Now, what makes KERUUK unique is the following. As you can see, it has Laci's. If you look at Laci's karambits from his one of the earliest designs, they have two rings. This, some of you guys might wonder why, but it actually allows for better retention and also aids if you do ever use this in a duster manner. I absolutely love the chisel flathead puño, the pommel, because not only can you use that as a skull crusher, but you actually can use this to tighten any loose flats. And at the same time, if you ever do use this as a dive knife, you could actually use it to pretty much pry off oysters if you like to eat oysters or mussels if you do dive. And because this one's made out of ATS-34, which Ernest Meyer used to be best known for using, the edge seems to be in extremely great condition for something that's from that age, that era. Does show that it has been used and sharpened. This is actually a good time to talk about that a little bit. Unlike what majority of you guys believe, when you're in any type of special operations, you believe that, oh yeah, if you carry a knife for military, it's for killing only. Bullshit. You have more uses of a blade for typically opening up boxes and prying when you're not supposed to, using your knife as a pry bar, which ironically this is perfect for actually, because you're not using the blade, you're using the flat insert pop. You can loosen up the crate a little bit to get that nail popped off if you need to, but typically that's what the military application for this type of blades will be done. Now, one of the difficult things is depending on what kind of asshole you have or super cool guy you have for your CO. Because if your commanding officer is a jackass, he will not permit you to carry this for regulation, give a shit. So that's how typically it is. But typically, if you have a really cool CO, your commanding officer and whoever's in charge, they don't give a rat's ass, especially if you're working on that type of line of work. Your blade can be used for whatever you need it, and you can have what the fuck you want on your deuce rig. So, kudos. Like anything, when you get into the real world of things for jobs, it's having the cool boss or the assholes who think they know it all, but they really don't. So there's that. So this is the KERUUK. What I love about the KERUUK, personally for me, is that it has the same features of a UUK and more. So let me see if I can goddamn bring out something that we can use. So we don't want to destroy anything else. I'm just gonna bring out some dumbbell. So if we do that, so any attacks that comes in, boom, it can trap it like a UUK's guard. Technique with this blade, basically you can use everything that you do with karambit, but with an added safety of having a guard, so you can actually do a better disarm with it if you need to. Obviously, as I always tell the lads, if you're using a blade of this magnitude, it should be from a distance, and yes, it is perfect, absolutely perfect knife for FFS applications. Due to the fact that Warncliffe, and because of Laci's blade designs, are perfect for point-oriented fighting system, meaning you're reaching point first before you're reaching anything else. So meaning it thrusts on contact. For those of you who do not understand this methodology, let me explain this a little bit better. So if you have a blade like this, normally when you execute a thrust, you have to tip. Let's pull this out. So if this is using thrust, see how I'm breaking my wrist instead of keeping it straight, like when I'm punching? While that's how you would normally achieve a thrust, by pointing the thrust and inserting into whatever you're doing to neutralize the thing. With a KERUUK or with a UUK, all it is, I just punch. I don't even need to do that. I just punch. And it makes contact with the tip and thrusts it by my weight alone. Just if you do any type of fencing or FFS, that does it on its own. If you answer from here, same thing. Answer from here, same thing. Nganyo works beauty with the wiper, which will catch onto the back edge of this to pretty much end whatever situation there is. I love this. And if you use this in a classical FMA manner, you could do your hollow sword, and because this actually has a guard, it actually protects your hands much better in case if you did fumble up and it got too close to the blade, it'll have the trap right there. You can roll its head and boom, there's that middle thyroid slash. If you use Balabas right here, you could use the flathead puño to do the hinge joint, roll the head with the palo suit curve, and he's right there. You can either go pretty much to finish you from either edge with the forward or reverse, totally up to you. So this type of blade, oh my god, and it still has, so the boys were asking me about this when they brought this in this morning, is that, how do you get your thumb around it for capping? Or normally the boys prefer having it like this. This still provides, Laci's designed this perfectly as always with Walt's design. You can still cap it like that without ever going in the way, being in the line of the flathead. That would literally destroy your finger if you did going like this, but with Laci's design, you don't have to worry about that. You could also place it on the back of the jimping. That works fine too. You could do it FFS style like this, perfect too on that. Either way, everything's fine, but I like it like this for if I'm using typical classical Kali method, because it gives me more precision control with the blade. But KERUUK is designed for both saksak, meaning forward, and also reverse grip. So it does everything on that front. Absolutely perfect. It's if you are planning to bring this back, brother, this would be a blade that is definitely worthy of something of times like right now. Reason why I say that is there are a lot of guys who craft blades, but they don't really understand the purpose behind it yet, or they craft blades without having a purpose on that. So totally one of those things, and yeah, something like that. It is a one cliff, and whew, it guides your fingers straight to it, so that's awesome. I'm guessing Nate was trying to copy my way of sharpening, that I was trying to imitate my friend Master Daniel Valley, and he did it beautifully, but man, that thing, it draws your finger right in, so you gotta be really careful of that. Absolutely perfect. So there you go. Most likely by this time tomorrow, this will be going back to Laci's hand, likely, just because the boys are right now going through their things, and they just, I also have a blade right now in the armory that they really want, so we'll see how that goes. All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick review of my brother Laci Szabo's design. That's crafted by someone that we won't mention here, but this was really well done. Definitely one of a kind. It's a blade that is rarely seen, let alone you'll ever see again in this time. So, perfection. All right, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Catch you guys later.